Bruno Mars, The Romantic. The Romantic is the fourth solo studio album by American singer Bruno Mars. It was released on February 27th, 2026. It is his first solo album in over 9 years since 24K Magic, released in 2016. In between, he did have a collaboration album, so depending on how you look at it, this is his fifth album or his fourth solo studio album. But overall, not a lot of albums by him, considering his career longevity. All right, Eric, your thoughts on The Romantic by Bruno Mars?
Oh man, I love Bruno Mars. I think he's awesome. Like I have no issues with Bruno Mars. I think he's a really good performer. He's very funky, and I think of what I love most about Bruno Mars, and I don't know if it's the same bass player, but his bass player is on point all the time.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And it's just very funky, and I love that funkiness. This album, I didn't know that this was the one following up 24 Karat Gold, because that's like his like mecca. Like I would say 24 Magic is his
Yeah,
album. Like that
that
is
was that
that
was
is
his
his album.
last. That was his last solo album 10 years ago.
That is wild. Because I feel like everything on that album is amazing. Like it's just funky. It's great. Like I feel like this guy is like a good pop artist. Like I feel like he's an underrated pop artist, because it's like you hear Bruno Mars, he's big, 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 and then he like disappears. And then it's like Bruno Mars, here he is, big, big, big,
Right.
big, and then he disappears, right? Because like after 24 Magic, I think it was like the next big song he did was Uptown Funk, which was his big like,
Was it?
I want
Maybe.
to say, I could be wrong, and I'm sure our like long loving like I would say Mike Arnone is a doppelganger of Bruno Mars. I would consider him, just based off of because he loves him so much, not because they look anything alike, but he loves him so much that he's his doppelganger. So
Uptown Funk was off of Mark Ronson's solo album, so it wasn't a Bruno
so
Mars album. It was a
no,
feature.
but I'm talking about like that was his next biggest song since 24K Magic, right? When did
Yeah,
that
yeah,
come
yeah,
out?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because that
2014.
song was huge, and I love that song. That song was sick, right? Just like the bass in that song was amazing. I think I just love Bruno Mars because of the bass player. Like I just want the bass player to like just shine. But so this let's get to this album, The Romantic. I felt like it wasn't as like it was very like it stayed true to the album title, The Romantic. Like it was definitely like if I was going to wine and dine someone,
Okay,
I would have
okay,
this album playing, because
okay.
it was like, sure, like, hey, babe,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you're
yeah.
looking fine tonight, right? And then you just have this album playing in the background, and it's just like, you just look like a smooth
Right, right, right.
motherfucker,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
So, um, but, but I felt like it was a little bit slow. Like it's not as like funky as I wanted it to be.
yeah. Okay.
Um, the first song, Risk It All, which I think shouldn't have been the opening song of this,
Oh, interesting. Okay.
because all I could think of was the Brian Adams song. Everything I do it for you. It sounded exactly like that song.
Oh no, I didn't even catch that. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And if you listen to it right now, like I'll give you a chance to listen to it, because
Yeah,
it
that's
sounds like that song. And all I
hilarious.
can think of is like, I know this sounds like something like from,
That's
I couldn't quite
hilarious.
place it if it was Rod Stewart, Sting, or Brian Adams. I
That's
was
so
right with one of
funny.
them. So I mean, I Just Might is definitely the single on the album, and I think it's definitely like the best song on the album.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like I was expecting a little bit more funkiness to it, and I didn't realize how short it actually was. It was only like coming in at 32 minutes, the
Mm-hmm.
album. So
Yeah, it's like 30, 34, right? 31.
hmm.
Yeah, like okay, I'm listening to it now. Yeah, it's pretty like a Brian Adams type of song. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I hear it now.
everything I do it
So,
for you.
so I didn't catch that, but it doesn't change what I'm going to say. When I was listening to this album, like there were so many parts in it where I just like that sounds so familiar. Um,
Yes. Hmm.
the third track, I just might. There's those whoa whoa whoa, the like
Yeah.
backup vocals. I still haven't figured out what song that is, but I can like I know one day I'm like that's the song that specific
Hmm.
melody line is from. And then something serious, track 7. That was just Oye Como Va. To me, Oye Como Va
Yes.
and Low Ride,
Yes.
and there was a bit of Low Rider in there,
Yeah.
is all combined.
Yeah.
And I was just like, there's no way you're getting away with this.
Hmm. It just, yeah, you're totally right. There were, and I couldn't play like the Oyo Como Va thing. You're totally right. That is
Yeah.
Oyo Como Va.
I was just listening to the song.
But
I was like, "Oye, como va?" I was just like adding the "Oye, como va" lyrics to it. I was like, this is too
mm,
obvious. Come on."
oh, it's definitely, it felt like it was like I I'm gonna stick with the, like, the analogy of like whining and dining your
Hmm.
like significant other. But I feel like it was just like, hey babe, like this is what I made for you. But it's like you're really ripping off a lot of these other things.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
then you're
yeah,
just like putting it like, hey, look at this, babe. Like, look how sexy I am, right?
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
just felt like it was just too, you're right. It just sounded like it's been done. Like all these songs, it wasn't like original sounding.
yeah. Hmm. Yeah. So, I guess the positives of this, I think Bruno Mars is a very talented singer. I think his voice sounded fabulous on this record. Like he
Yeah, he's a
sounded
sick singer.
so smooth on this record.
Mhm.
And like overall production, everything in here, I thought it sounded really good. The problem I have with this album is the sound of the album, or at least the artistic direction of it, because you're probably not listening to Bruno Mars for any sort of innovation. Like you're probably not going in there and being like, okay, I'm gonna hear like a brand new like style of music, or I'm gonna hear something that I've never heard before. You're really
Mhm.
going into Bruno Mars's catalog, at least for this album, just to be like a throwback album, right? Like he's really playing on that 70s, 80s style of music that was just like
Kind of
Motown
like,
type of
yeah,
sound.
R&B,
Yeah,
Motown
R&B
sounds, yeah.
Motown sounds, right? And he's just
Yeah.
trying to he's like really like honing in on it, replicating it. Even like the cheesy stuff that came from that era of music, like he's just amping
Mhm.
it up in here. Um so like I think that's my major problem with it. Now, if you go into this like, yeah, I just want something smooth, but it came out this year, like it's a current album, but I want that
Mhm.
70s style of music. Fair enough. I think this is like a 9 out of 10 easy record. If that's what you want to listen to, something that's just easy listening, it's sort of like a nostalgia sort of yesterday time sort of sound.
Mhm.
Fair enough. I think this is a great record for that. But if you're trying to find something in here that's of like artistic quality, where it's something new, or it's a new story that he's trying to tell, or something like, there wasn't even a heartbreaking moment in here whereas like I sympathize with whatever he's saying, or like there was no emotion for me when I was listening to this. I was just like, these songs just have been done so many times 30
Mhm.
years ago. It's not even like these songs have been done every single decade through history. It's just like 30 years ago this song came out already. What are we
Yes.
doing?
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
that's my major criticism of this, because I don't know. I think for me, I could have gone without listening to this record, because this music has already been done, and it's already been quote unquote perfected. I just don't think he added anything to that
Mhm.
genre and style of music that hasn't already been done.
I think the problem with Bruno Mars is that he's always gonna be compared to these other albums that he's made that have been bangers. And like this is his, if this is his 5th studio self-titled like self album,
Hmm.
right? Like I think people are gonna just be like, it's not like 10 albums and it's just like, okay, that's good. It's like I like his earlier stuff. Like this is like always gonna be compared to like one album that just hit the charts.
Hmm.
So This is definitely easily lost in the noise. Like it's definitely like a popular, like I'm gonna take everything, like you said, I'm gonna take all the great elements of this music that's already been done and just combine it into one mega song,
Yeah.
right? So there's nothing really special going on here, but he is a good singer, and I think as like band, like you definitely do. You have to give it some credit though, because you definitely do go away like that cha 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 song. That's been stuck in my head for the whole week. So it's definitely like it
There's
it
catchy
incepts your
elements.
mind
Yeah,
a
yeah,
little bit, right?
yeah.
So
Yeah, no, there's definitely like catchy elements to it. It's just like I don't know. It's just it to me it was boring because
mhm,
there wasn't anything here that I really thought was groundbreaking or like even like interesting. It was like most of the parts when I listened to it, I was like, "Oh, that's interesting. Oh, it's interesting because I've heard this song before."
mhm,
Like most, like a lot of records will have that. Even the Hillary Duff album that we did last time, when she did the interpolation of the Blink 182 song, I thought that was
mhm,
interesting because there was like an actual like through storyline through that why that song was chosen, how they
mhm,
interpolated it. I thought it was like relatively ingenious of that use of that tool. But for this, it was just like, oh, you're just copying everything that's been done already. Okay,
mhm,
and fair enough. People will love this style of music just to put in the background. But if you're an active listener listening to this, man, you
yes.
you you need to just focus on maybe the instrumentation or just the tone of his voice because that's the only redeeming quality of this album.
Mhm. I mean, his band is good. Whoever he
Yes.
chooses to play
Yep.
like guitar, drums, bass, like they're all spot on. But
Yep.
like he said, like it was compared to his other albums, it was definitely the most boring one I've heard. So and I love Bruno Mars and I'm so sorry, Grown Up Gaming, for like just trashing this album. But like it's not bad, but it's just been done before. Like it's just so cookie cutter. But I would definitely like if I was trying to be like, you know what, I want to get lucky tonight,
Mm,
with my wife. Here,
mm.
I'd put this on, make her a nice dinner, and then I'll be like, "You want to cha 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 with me?"
Yeah,
And I'll
yeah,
cha 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 with you. you
yeah.
know?
As like, yeah, I would say it's pretty good for background music. Like, but
Mhm,
beyond that, it's just I don't know. There's just no creative element to it. That's really
mhm,
interesting. That's the main problem with this album. It's just too cookie cutter and it's I don't know. It's the same thing over and over again, which I'm sort of two minds of it because I think he is emulating sort of like a past music style,
mhm,
which on face value I don't really have a problem with it, but I think because he is trying to make original music with that style and it just doesn't do anything creative with it, I think that's where I have the problem. Because I think of like a Michael Bublé who does like an
mhm.
old style of music, but he's never really done like original music, right? It's always like the classics that he's sort of
Yeah,
known for, right?
and
So
it's
for
very once in a while that he will
yeah.
come out with a single, but yeah, yeah, I would agree with that.
So like from that like I don't have a problem with people doing old music, right? But then when you're trying to like push it out and be like, "Oh, Michael Bublé for all intents and purposes is a cover artist." I can accept that cuz it's just like yeah, that's
Mhm,
that's what he's doing. He's entertaining. But from this, it if you're putting out original music, it goes a little bit beyond just entertaining.
mhm,
It has to be something from your perspective or like you have to put something of yourself into it or
mhm.
otherwise it's just like what are we doing here? You might as well have just like covered a bunch of old songs.
Yes, yes, and in a way, he did,
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of
right?
these songs are so familiar.
Yeah, where
uh
we've named 3 songs,
I know.
right?
Yeah. Um but yeah, that'd be my major criticism of this one. I am not a Bruno Mars fan, so I've never really listened to any of his
Mhm,
previous albums, but listening to this, it just doesn't it doesn't interest me to go listen to his other stuff because I'm like, well, that was pretty cookie cutter.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Eric. Final thoughts and ratings. What are you gonna give this one?
Oh man, I hate to do this to Bruno Mars because I like Bruno Mars. I really do. Um, there's a lot of funky songs that he has, and I was kind of hoping for a funky album, but I didn't get that. So, but would I play this like I said in that romantic setting? Yes, absolutely. And the title of the album fits. So I'm gonna give this album a 6 out of 10.
Ooh, okay,
A
6 out of
six out of
10.
ten.
It's not
So
bad.
mhm.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this a straight down the middle 5 out of 10,
Mm.
which I feel like at the end of the year I might raise that a bit. I feel like, but for today I'm giving it a 5 out of 10 just because it sounded good. Everything just sounded nice. That's how I describe it. It's just a nice sounding album, but
Mhm.
beyond that, there's nothing there. It just recycled material that we've heard
Mhm.
before. But the band sounds great. He sounds great. It's just there's
Mhm.
no substance behind it, which is my big problem with this
Yes.
record. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10 for this one, which maybe in 10 years' time he'll release another album that we'll like.
I know. Maybe he will.
Who knows? All right, perfect. So that was our discussion on The Romantic by Bruno Mars. For those of you listening and following along with us every single week, the album we are going to be discussing is White Flag Down by 1,000 Horses. Should be an interesting one. A bit more country, a bit more hard rock type of band. So
Mhm.
should be an interesting listen for next week. Eric, are we back on Monday schedule starting next week?
Yes, we are.
Okay,
We
okay,
are back on
perfect.
the Monday schedule.
So we'll be back here at twitch.tv/the Crossroads Music Podcast at 10 p.m. ET, 7 p.m. PT at Monday. You know, so for those of you joining the live stream, thanks for being here and watching along. But all these episodes go up on Spotify, Apple Music, all the places where you get your podcasts, and YouTube has all the specifically album reviews. So if you disagreed with anything we said, you
Mhm.
could always give us a comment there and start yelling at us and tell us why Bruno Mars is the greatest musician of
Yeah,
all time.
and give us suggestions too. Like I feel like I've deep dived into Bruno Mars's catalog. So, but yeah, give us your suggestions because I have to say, like Alter Bridge, I checked out that that album that people suggested,
Oh,
and it was
Fortress.
great. Yeah, Fortress,
Oh,
and
it
and,
was
and I
so
know you
good.
talked about it
Yeah.
at the beginning of like a few episodes back, but it was great, and we do like we're not completely stubborn. We will listen, but there are times where we feel like we're right, and you know what? That's our
Well,
opinion.
we knew that Alter Bridge was a good band. We just didn't think their latest album was very good. That's all.
Exactly. And some people just hated us for that. But
Which is hilarious. We
yeah,
don't like what is it, melodic hard rock. That's what the
exactly.
conclusion was.
Which is hilarious. Because out of all the things, like you would love melodic metal and I love melodic blues.
Yeah.
So it's like it's just funny because I feel like we would both love melodic hard rock. But
Yeah.
hey, you know what? Yeah.
But anyways, thanks for everyone for tuning in for another week of the Crossroads Music Podcast. And we will catch you all next time.